What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of GeekCypha. We are here live, first edition of 2025. That feels crazy to say, the first edition of 2025. Saying 2025.
It's 2025, and the Autobots and Decepticons are still in their work.
Oh man, it's funny because like all the things from like the 80s and 90s were like we're past their future, and they were wrong.
Yeah,
so many.
My flying car. I have no sassy robot named Rosie being my maid. No pseudo talking dogs named Astro.
Where's my liquid cops that are chasing me down?
Yo, dude, on it. Okay, I don't know. I mean, they're coming, but I have to say, I have a book called Where's My Flying? Oh no, Where's My Jetpack? That's it. Where's My Jetpack? It's written by this guy who likes to write. Like he wrote one called How to Survive the Robot Apocalypse, How to Survive a Zombie attack, and then he wrote Where's My Jetpack. All three of them fantastic books. I'll try and find the author's name in a second, but the Where's My Jetpack has a breakdown of every time they have tried to actually make the thing in sci-fi.
Okay.
So like it has a whole section about why we don't have actual jetpacks, why we don't have the skateboard from Back to the Future, why we don't have list it all.
But we don't have jetpacks because we still suck at driving.
Yeah,
essentially,
that's true,
and that's not. And to be honest, that's not an advocation for self-driving cars because those
I'm not down
those
with
don't
that.
really exist. And for them to actually exist, you need more tech that we do have. But if you put that on the car, it's gonna bump up the costs astronomically, and it's not gonna be viable for anybody.
But let's make it clear, like there's enough bad drivers out there that like what happens if they're in this like self-driving car and it bugs out and then they have to take the wheel.
Well, so
and you know what's funny though? We have so much bad drivers, but we just don't make the schooling more comprehensive, more better, more. Hey, this is how you physically drive in the snow. Like Scandinavia, you know why there's so many Scandinavian like race car drivers? Because they actually have a component of you driving in the snow. They actually have a component of you learning how to control a car when it's wet, when it's icy out, and getting it back.
They make them drive on a track designed specifically to test their responses on wet asphalt, snow, all those different elements. And it's defensive driving, which is what you should be teaching in Canada. Anywhere that you have 6 months. 6 months of ice and snow. Hell, I mean, if you have 1 month of ice and snow, you should probably teach people how to drive like that, because all it takes is one moment, knock on wood, for something like that to unfortunately hurt someone. And it's
sadly look at Texas when they have like a snowstorm.
Right.
Or Atlanta.
And to be fair, you're living in an area that you don't necessarily always need snow tires,
right.
And that's fine, that's fair enough. But I mean, it's not me saying they need snow tires. It's like, no, because it's normally hot.
yeah. But also another thing for me is, I think I've seen quite a few of them do it, but just shut things down and like, I don't know, borrow some Canadians who know how to plow properly. Like have someone from an area that knows how to do a proper. Have like one good plowing system set up in case of, because I don't understand.
I don't know. That sounds like money.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like money. I don't want to spend money.
The author for the book is Daniel Wilson. So he published 3 books from that kind of weird nerdy series.
It's like a fake name.
Oh, it's probably a pen name. It's probably not a real one.
We do have the tricorder right here.
Yes,
we technically do.
And yes, so the book is really good because it also does explain, like, we do have some of the tech in different ways. Like the pad from Star Trek is the iPad,
and
we do have
and the wall like buttons and stuff.
Yes,
and all that.
You have smart homes. You do have those. I think they would say that you don't have Rosie from the Jetsons, but you do have the whatchamacallit,
the Roomba or
the
whatever.
Roombas and stuff like that.
We changed it for a Rosie for a Roomba.
We do have we can talk to our phones by saying, hello and insert name here, and then Star Trek can be like, hello computer.
Computer. Love the accent.
And you can actually program your phone to answer to that too. Like that's one of the things that's kind of cool about the tech. Like there are options to mimic all the things from the the past's idea of the future, which it feels like such a weird thing to say. But yeah, you can do my computer. Hell, you can name your Roomba Rosie. I'm sure there's a way to tell. I won't even say mine because my thing out there that rhymes with Schmexa, it's so sensitive that I'm afraid that just saying that, but I call it dum dum when I don't want it to react, and I'm just like, but honestly, the fact that
you should name it.
I've been tempted to, but then I'm worried that I would just keep saying like dum dum all the time because it just does things that I'm like,
you should just dress in green and be called Gizmo.
No,
the Great Gazoo. The Great Gazoo.
Yeah,
there we go.
And it's crazy. Like one of the things with Dum Dum, which, as I mentioned, Amazon's Dum Dum. When you go into the application, you can see what it heard sometimes as to why it responded the way it did. And there's times where I'm just like, that's not what I said at all. So that's more why I feel comfortable calling it dumb, because people are saying like, oh, it's human error. Sometimes it's not human error. I said the right thing. And I look at what it understood, and it's understanding a completely different thing. And I'm like, your ears got wax, homie. You need to clean your ears out.
My favorite of those is watching Scottish people try to get it to work.
Those are brutal.
It just does not understand the Scottish accent at all. It just cannot. And then even better, what's even funnier is when they start speaking with like a more posh British accent, it completely understands. I'm just like, oh, fuck off.
That's funny. I can imagine that being hilarious to watch.
That's awesome. Guys, we have so much news, so I feel like if we want to get to any of the other stuff, we definitely have to start talking about the news. But we have okay, I'll start with this because this one I feel like and our wonderful co-host is here.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Okay, so this first piece of news. Cynthia Erivo tells NBR her next dream role is to play X-Men Storm. I'm gonna time it. We have 3 minutes to discuss this.
Can you post a picture of this person? Because I don't know her
from Wicked.
Name. Oh,
the black girl from Wicked.
The black woman from Wicked.
What are we reading? Sorry?
I never seen her in.
She said she wants to play Storm. Cynthia Erivo.
As long as you're dedicated, I'm down.
I'm gonna say you need more than dedication. I think you need a little bit of the look, and she's significantly too small, in my opinion, to play the character.
Oh, she's short.
Maybe before when she was going when she was doing. Remember, we talked about this before.
Yes, that's the crazy part.
For an endurance race, what was it again?
Yes.
A marathon.
Okay, yes.
I look a little more buff, a little more fit. Maybe, but
I just so I will post up a picture because it is fair.
We missed out on Angela Bassett, man. We missed out. We really did. Dude, we really did.
Every time.
You are so right.
People have been saying for years.
So right.
When before those movies ever came out and before Ultimates ever came out, I remember they were talking about it in the back of X-Men comics, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get Sir Patrick." This is, I think, before Sir Patrick Stewart was Sir Patrick Stewart. They're like, "We're gonna get Patrick Stewart to play Professor X, and then Mel Gibson to play Wolverine, and then Angela Bassett to be Storm." I think we kind of missed out. And at least like Ryan Coogler was like, okay, Angela Bassett, you can play T'Challa's mom, and we're going to give you some beefy stuff in the second one to do.
I don't think she could do Storm, to be honest.
Cynthia?
No, Angela Bassett.
I think in the past she could have.
When they were young.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Like if you were able to dream cast any person at any age.
But this was like this is her after What's Love Got to Do with It when she plays Tina Turner, and then I think during
especially after she played Tina Turner. She had the physique for it for sure.
100%.
What was the other movie she did? She did Waiting to Exhale, where she was like this scorned woman and she burned up her husband's car because he cheated on her and stuff. So like that era Angela Bassett, I could see, but I mean, I know she's older now, but I mean, she still looked good when she was doing the promo stuff. So
100%.
But I mean, it would if they did like
you know what?
Future Storm.
You know what?
Storm's mom,
Hold on 1 second, because I'm about to do something, and if it is what I think it is, I'm about to shut my mouth real hard. Okay, she's okay. That's how old she is. Hugh Jackman. I want to know how old Hugh Jackman is. Let me see.
Boy,
I want to see something. Okay, she's 10 years older than him. I was gonna say, because Hugh Jackman is out here playing Wolverine and he's 56. If she was in 56 to 60, I would say okay, but she is 10 years older because she's currently on her show 911. She plays a cop. She has her scenes. She has her action scenes, and we all think that she's fantastic. Like, she is fantastic on 911. I don't watch the show religiously, but everything I've seen her in, she's been able to hold it down. She's a star of this show. We've also seen her in Black Panther. Obviously, we can't bring her back because of the fact that she's played a mother, and mind you, variant universe, all that BS. We could do whatever we want at this point, but I'm just saying, like, there is a world in which Angela Bassett could have been with Hugh Jackman, and they played Wolverine and Storm together. But yeah,
it should have been her instead of Halle Berry, basically.
Yeah,
that's
probably.
what you're saying.
What do we got? We got second actor Rory McCann replacing the late Ray Stevenson for Ahsoka season 2.
It's a shame, but good on you for doing the recast.
Yes. Oh, I feel like we almost need to speak about other recasts if we're going to talk about recasts.
We're going to talk about it, but that one's just that's a quick good job. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Ray Stevenson played the Punisher in that movie a couple years ago, and
yeah, I forgot that he passed away, honestly, until I saw that headline.
Sorry, Josh.
He was also the main bad guy in RRR.
Oh yeah. Yes.
He was also, wasn't he one of the Brothers 3 or whatever? In
Warriors 3, yeah.
Warriors 3, that's it.
In Thor.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Stevenson?
Yeah.
Oh damn!
So, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
He was the guy with the axe.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rory McCann, who played the Mountain on Game of Thrones, is fantastic. He has the size. Like, that's the other thing that's hard, because I did not realize Ray Stevenson was that tall. Like,
He's a big boy.
That
man.
That man, yeah, he is the Mountain, and then like Rory can hold it down. So, what else do we got? Insider Industry, Jeff Sneider states that they are recasting T'Challa. Since he's made that statement, it has been brought up that they're not recasting T'Challa as much as aging up the character that they introduced at the end of Wakanda Forever. So
how does any of that make sense?
I mean,
time travel, nigga.
Yeah, we about to be the title already. Time travel, nigga.
But all I'm saying is, like, you know what this proves? This proves that, I say this with respect, you should have just not made Wakanda Forever, waited, and just recast it. If this is what you're doing.
I actually think I'm of two minds. Yes, I do agree that if they'd taken the time and waited and just done a recast for Wakanda Forever, or whatever version of the story we would have gotten with a little bit of a pause, maybe that would have been a good idea. I do think, though, that, and I've thought about this a lot, so I'll try and be concise with it. When everyone was saying it's so easy to recast Spider-Man and it's so easy to recast Batman, we've done it so many times, why can't we do it with T'Challa? There's a difference in the fact that when they made the first Black Panther film, that was a specific moment in Black culture in which that entire cast talked about the difference and the value of making that film together. And I think it's different when I hear, and I'm not speaking on behalf of white actors, but when I hear white actors talk about their experiences on set, I don't think feeling like the other ever comes into their mind. So when you are an entire cast of other and then you lose someone, it hurts even more. Sure. And I think that cast felt that it would be difficult to replace him right away in the second one. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and another analogy for it is, like, suppose, a parent passes away, and then maybe a year or two later, your parent brings home the new mom, and they already got married, and you just feel like, ugh, like, ooh, like, hold up,
yeah,
I think tangible feeling that's more you know what I mean? Exactly. Like, look at Skinny. He's like, exactly. That's the
whereas, like, when I hear people talk about the cast, like, for example, what's his homeboy Paul Dano? Is that his name? When he talked about preparing for Riddler on the Batman.
Oh yeah, Paul Dano. Yeah.
Like, I've heard Paul Dano talk about sets and like working on projects, and I've heard a bunch of other white actors talk about it. None of them talk about the set like they had found family,
like it was a home.
Like, yeah, dude, there's a
with the exception of the Avengers, they did talk about
yeah, they talk about working together. They all got tattoos together. They're a crew, and and that's it. If you had the Avengers movie and knock on wood, one of those actors died between Avengers 1 and Avengers 2, do you think they would all just be like, yeah, cool, let's just recast?
Well, here's the thing. This is my only thing about it, and I'll try and be concise. I think Chadwick Boseman did an amazing job.
Fantastic.
I think that he knew the importance of what it was.
Yeah.
And they made that move. Everyone knew the importance of that movie.
Yeah.
And they did that. I would think that Chadwick, if he were to able to have said it, because obviously he kept it a secret for obvious reasons. He did not want things to be about him. He wanted the film to be about the film and the impact.
I think Dave's about to talk on behalf of the black
No,
actors.
I am not saying
he is.
let me
I'm
just
teasing. I know. I just had to tease you because you're like,
No.
I think that Chadwick, and I'm like, oh, this man about to
all I'm saying is that
explain Chadwick. I'm teasing.
No. I'm just saying I feel
I have to bug you.
Yeah, I know, but with how he was and how he was interviewed, he was such a humble person. He was a giving person. By all the other roles that he's taken, he's never been shy about giving.
Right.
And I feel that he would be like, this is too important.
Right.
Like Marvel, you were able to do a good job with finding me. Find the next me.
I'm not even.
You know what I mean?
I'm not. I totally was teasing you, and you're not even wrong. I know for a fact Chadwick Boseman would say, "I am not bigger than the role." He would 100%. I do. I think, however, again, it had nothing to do with what Chadwick wanted. It had everything to do with what the producer, the guy, I can't remember his name right now, but the guy who finally got the approval from Feige to make it, and made that and was working on the Blade film, and the whole cast and Ryan Coogler, I think they're the ones that were just like, nah, I can't. Like Jaws was saying, nah, you can't just bring in a new moms or a new dad right now. I'm gonna need a moment, and I'm just gonna, let me and the family recover, and then we'll come back to it. And whether or not you guys are all ready to understand that or accept that, we will accept that. We will take the L if the film doesn't do well, because that's one thing. I feel like the whole crew, cast, and everything, all of them put their heart into it, but they understood if the audience couldn't accept it because we just didn't have Black Panther, they were ready to go, it's okay. We could only give you this right now, though. We couldn't give you what you wanted, so you're getting this. So I think recasting him, I do agree that I always said they should have recast him. I don't know if they should have taken a break. I think what they should have done was essentially what they did, but not do a whole run of them saying we'll never recast him. That was a mistake, because they said early on, we're not going to recast him. Chadwick is, blah, blah, blah. That was a mistake. You should have just said,
yeah.
They should have just said, we're going to do this. Skinny, hit us.
You see, they said they weren't going to recast, but that was all before homegirl who was playing Shuri. It was all about, not getting her vaxes and whatnot. And she started rebelling hard. And we're like, well, if you're going to be the face of this franchise.
Oh, Letitia, right? Yeah.
Maybe we should recast. Then the whole possibilities of these Elseworlds and with time travel and the multiverse and Doom and whatever he's going to do. There's a bunch of possibilities where they're like, hey, we could open this up and finally have that moment where young T'Challa, drops a goddamn planet on Namor's face.
Yeah. I think Skinny's right. I think at the time when they made the movie, they didn't have the multiverse, right?
Nope.
The way they have it.
No,
Right.
they didn't have any of with Doomsday and whatever. Who knows if there might be a cabal? Who knows if Namor switches sides because he's like, I don't want Atlanta to go. He might. There's a bunch of possibilities that as long as I get T'Challa dropping a planet on man's face, I don't care.
And I also don't see a big deal, not a big deal of not recasting. It's not like Marvel hasn't had a history of recasting. They've done it before. Hulk, Red, what's his name? Red Skull. They recasted.
Yeah. Hell, even Hulk has been recast. Red Hulk has been recast. Red Skull, like you said, there's multiple people who've been recast.
But I'm talking about before Black Panther 2. People have been recast. So it's just
based on the circumstances and the and what it meant and everything that we mentioned before. I understand saying we're not going to recast as a sensitive statement.
Yeah.
That's G. Good job.
Yeah.
And then now
still a mistake, though.
How would you know?
I don't know. I
Because
liked how the movie played out, where it's just everyone dealing with like the grief.
Yes.
and they're using that in their acting because it's just that wound is there. So you just might as well. I'm gonna let all this good feelings go to waste. No, come on, put it on.
But like Skinny, didn't it feel limiting to say we're not going to recast Chadwick? Like if they had said we're not going to recast him now, but they kept making it sound like we will never recast.
Yeah.
That to me seemed like a mistake.
The internet trolls that basically make me hate Marvel products now would have been so loud that you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't have been, they would have buried the movie like they buried the Marvels.
Yeah. Well, they tried to bury the Marvels. They might have been able to do it in theaters, but when it came out on streaming, everyone said, "Oh, this movie's nowhere near as bad as people were saying." Exactly. As soon as people got to see it on Disney Plus for free, quote unquote, they're all just like, "Yo, this movie's not that bad," which it was not. I saw the movie.
Bury Captain America too. Watch.
Yes, that we know. Captain America. Okay, I mean, we do have more news, but real quick, can we all acknowledge that Captain America is being set up to fail?
Yeah,
man,
for sure.
Why are you showing the biggest part in the commercial, guy?
Yeah,
I'm not even watching the commercial because I don't want to. I don't want it.
Is this?
It sucks. It really sucks. Yeah.
Announcing that it's the shortest Captain America film of all three is why are you doing that?
They're basically pulling what is it? Terminator Genesis, basically, in the trailers. It's like why?
I've been watching a lot of like clips and stuff because usually I don't want to, but with this one I was kind of like, I need to get myself hyped for this film because I want to be excited about seeing Sam. Anthony Mackie is finally getting the wings and the shield. We're doing it like the comic book. We're finally going to do it. Cool. And he has vibranium wings now because we found out in the series, which is another thing. I feel like I know people will go back to the series before the movie because it obviously leads into, but I feel like there's a lot of progress that happens in the show that makes it harder if you haven't watched a show to jump into this movie. You know how all the other Captain America movies didn't have TV shows before them, so you were fine. This one has what feels to me like a pretty big takeoff. Like there's a bunch of stuff like how did he get he has the shield, he's Captain America, he has the suit, he has vibranium wings. When did all this happen? Oh, I have to watch 8 episodes or 6 episodes of a series that I didn't watch to understand that.
Another movie. That's it. You just have to watch another movie. It's literally free content. Why? People.
Charles, you were going to say?
He got the shield at the end of Infinity War, right? Yeah.
Right. No, yes. Sorry. And he gets it at the end of Endgame. But yeah, I guess it's true. You don't see him give up the shield and have to fight back for it. So granted, he has the shield. But like, there's a bunch of stuff where I feel, where's Bucky? Thunderbolts comes out after, so there's going to be questions. I guess they'll hopefully fill that in. Isaiah is not someone because you only saw him in the show. He's not in anything before, so he's going to be completely unknown at the time. So there's things that I feel like, and hopefully they've written this well enough that you don't need to watch the show, because ideally it should just be Easter eggs for those who've watched the show. But Isaiah is such an important part, and his history is so important. I don't see how you get him in the movie and not watch the show. Hit us, Skinny.
Here's why it's going to fail and how they set it up to fail.
No. Had such a smile. I thought he was going to say something
He's going to save it.
I'm almost mad that they did this.
So funny.
Listen, Captain America 1 was directed by who?
Oh,
nobody cares because it wasn't that great of a movie. Okay,
no. Okay, whoa, let's calm down. Let's calm the fuck down a bit.
That was great.
We're gonna start dropping f-bombs now. Yeah, start suing Skinny like they did. What's his name?
Let Skinny go on this run.
Just let the guy go. You see, y'all would be more like Janessa. Y'all just
go on your run. Go on your run.
Go on.
Captain America 1 wasn't that good. Who directed 2 and 3? Y'all know
Russo brothers.
Exactly. Why is this movie going to fail? Because they didn't turn around and spend the extra money to get them niggas to direct it. If they wanted this to succeed, they would get the guys who did 2 and 3 to do 4.
Can I say or better directors?
I mean,
no, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying like either get their level or higher. I get what the point you're trying to make.
The guys who know Captain America,
right.
Winter Soldier is arguably one of the best films done.
Yeah, facts.
Okay, and then there's Civil War, which is right after that, which is basically like Avengers 2.5, which is probably better. Okay, so come on, these guys did a great Captain America movie, a great Captain America mini Avengers movie. Why would you not get them to do the first Black Captain America movie that everyone's gonna hate on anyways? You know what I mean? Like you want it to be good, so go throw the money at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have
What
Red
if
Hulk.
they did? What if
You
they
have-
did throw the money and they said, "No, we good because we know exactly what you just said. People are gonna hate on it. We're just gonna let's walk away over here."
I
But
gotta say
let's
though,
not walk away because this is also your bridge movie. You need this movie to make Thunderbolts make sense. You need this movie to make the next Avengers to make sense, and you're also introducing adamantium. Like, why?
But also you're like, of all the things, these guys are also the ones coming back for Doomsday, Chris Evans, Robert Downey, both supposedly
Secret Wars, which they announced 10 years ago. Just do the damn
thing.
movie.
So one question though, is the which phase are we at now?
We're about to go into 6.
So this is the beginning of 6.
I think so, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why this movie is super important and that they should make sure that it doesn't fuck up.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And for all you know though, they may have done the thing where they found an amazing director who knows what he's doing. Not people need to be found and need to make things in order to make good movies. No.
This is actually
but these are blockbuster films.
It's the first one of 2025, but
you can't be giving a guy a try like on a blockbuster.
Not just that, but
that's fair.
But they did that with the Eternals.
Yeah,
that's a bad comparison, dude. That's a horrible comparison. You chose the worst movie in the entire franchise.
Wait,
honestly,
if you're a director, are you guys putting Red Hulk in the trailer?
Okay, hold on. So just so you know, I mean, Skinny, you know, the directors don't get to decide what they put in the trailer. That's like a trailer edit director. So,
he's mad about that.
Yeah. If I'm the director, the trailer shows
the splash screen.
And also, if you're that low tier of a director, you don't get a lot of say.
Right.
True. You know, like you're not a Christopher Nolan that says, "Screw you, get out of the editing bay." I'm
okay.
This
real quick, Captain America: Brave New World and Thunderbolts are the last 2 films in Phase 5. The Fantastic Four film is the first film in Phase 6. So that's what we're.
So that's why they didn't put the money.
Shut up! Don't do that.
Don't do that. It's the worst phase. That's why.
Oh,
I'm saying it right now. This is
hold on.
In the worst phase.
Agatha was not that bad.
Come at me.
Okay, see, you're adding TV, which I agree, but from a film perspective, I will
3 films. 2.
They had Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, The Marvels, Deadpool and Wolverine, Captain America: Brave New World, and Thunderbolts. I would say as half and half. Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, so then phase. Wait. So which one's the one with?
Shut up about Eternals. I liked it. Leave it alone, bro.
No, too bad. You shot on Captain America. Fuck you.
It wasn't that good of a movie.
I don't care.
Good, but
no. You already threw yourself under a bus as far as I'm concerned. Let's back up and rewind on that.
Ness, go ahead.
I randomly looked up not randomly, but I just looked up the director of the first one.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's the guy who directed Jumanji.
Which one?
The first one.
The original
Jumanji? Yeah, the original.
A classic.
I mean, yeah.
Wait. Joe Johnston is his name.
Yeah, there he is. He's not.
I was like, who is this guy?
He's
snapping your fingers.
Jumanji.
Brian, check your mans. Man.
I know. I'm gonna have to turn off his camera soon. Real quick, Phase 4 was the one you're talking about where everyone shot on it super hard because Phase 4 is Black Panther. I'm reading them backwards, by the way. So we ended with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Thor: Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Eternals, Shang-Chi: The Legend of the Ten Rings, and Black Widow. So that was also a half and half because Black Widow got hate, Eternals got hate, Doctor Strange got 50-50 hate, and Thor got blasted.
Yeah, Thor was trash.
So out of
did Guardians Volume 3 come out? That was before all that?
After. Guardians 3 is, yeah.
If you put Shang-Chi over Eternals?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I would put Shang-Chi over Eternals only because it's funnier, not because it's
good. And
I like timepieces.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm a timepiece guy. I like extended timepieces.
Oh, so do I. Except for Eternals, a piece of trash.
Ness, I agree. Like, it is Shang-Chi is the better film of the two, granted. I just think that Eternals isn't as bad as people act like it is. I think it is a bad film, but I don't think it's like people act like it's a rotten fruit they're being forced to eat. The way people are like,
I mean, I couldn't finish it.
It's the only movie, and that's amazing, by the way. But it's the only movie out of all the Marvel movies that I genuinely looked at my watch, being like, "Oh my god, I hope it's over." And it was 30 minutes in. I'm like, "No,
you didn't. You exaggerated.
I am not. I am not."
Dave,
30 minutes, and at 50-minute mark, and then I decided to not look at my phone anymore.
Stop.
Straight up. I no lie.
So okay, I
would not lie to you, Skinny.
Talking about Hayek's in the movie. What are you talking? Anyway, no.
Yeah, it was nice to look at. Cool for like 5 minutes.
Man's thinking, "Oh, it's 5-hour movie. It's only 30 minutes."
No, it was a 2-hour drudgery.
Guy.
You know what? You know what? It makes me realize. What? It made me realize what it feels like to be dragged by a car. That's what that movie made me feel.
Oh boy.
Let's move on from him shitting on this movie. Yes, the
ladies
movie
and
was
gentlemen, keep in mind that the person that said that the American Old Boy is better than the original, so I'm just gonna say that.
I only said one scene. I only said one scene was better. I'll die with it.
Skinny bringing up one of your worst takes ever is fine.
Hey man, he's bringing up the movie that was directed by Spike Lee.
Yeah,
It had Spike Lee and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, as a black podcast, I guess we have to say yay.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Jackson and another Asian and another.
You got all the shades of dark and
manga slash.
Oh my god. Okay, well, we've talked about Marvel quite a bit. Let's talk about DC for a second. DCU, we see the Superman is coming. That they're supposedly started filming Supergirl right now. A bit of news that happened while we were on break. Our Lobo has been cast. Momoa had the script in his hands. Yeah. Now, okay, so I
approve.
I'm gonna try and do this take in under 2 minutes.
Timing you.
Honestly, time me. When it gets to the 2 minutes, tell me to stop because I'm gonna try. Let me when I go.
Go.
Okay. Any universe in which you are trying to establish something new, but the foundation of it is still linked to its original roots is problematic. And I think that it is going to hinder the advancement of James Gunn's DC universe because of the fact that he's continuing to use a universe in which his brother's character Weasel, Amanda Waller, who met with Batman and was in the DCU, and like all this stuff that's still attached to that root, that tree, is still being branched off onto, but we're going to introduce this new universe. We're going to add a Batman movie, The Brave and the Bold, directed by the guy who directed the Flash movie, the same Flash movie that none of us liked
or saw.
These are all like fruits from the poison tree. I gotta say, Gunn, I want to believe you're gonna do better. I gotta believe that this is a vision and there's a plan. Peter Safran, if you are there, please check your man because continuing, I'm jumping on. Skinny said it and I'm grabbing it. But check your man because you need to let go of things if you want to start from scratch. And the fact that you are keeping your Peacemaker, your Amanda Waller, Weasel, and all these characters from a universe that should be dead is a problem. And it's going to bite you in the ass. Yeah, it really is. Because this is essentially a multiverse movie now. It's not a new universe, and I'm disappointed in that. Was that 2 minutes?
Minute 20.
That's perfect.
I'll add something to it.
It is.
As long if you acknowledge somehow, like the only way they could really fix this in some shape or form, it's a shame because they could have done it in Flashpoint, is if they just made Flashpoint end with like it's fucking everything up and everything is like this is a new world, then it would work.
Honestly, at this point, the only way this is somewhat funny. And I don't do it, but if you brought George Clooney in as the Batman of this universe because he ends the Flash movie, hilarious joke, hilarious. But don't do it because it's a bad idea. Jaws, hit us.
I was gonna say time.
Oh no, but he had already spoken. We were moving on already. But yeah,
I say let him cook, and if it comes out burnt and tastes like ass. Then we.
But you know what? Using your analogy,
0 days since the universe was rebooted again with new people.
But, Jaws, you know what? Using your analogy, honestly, it feels like back in the day. So this is a very Montreal rumor, but you know how back in the day, Peel Pub we used to get accused of reusing the spaghetti.
Oh,
Like if you
I
got
really
spaghetti and you left spaghetti on your plate, the rumor was that Peel Pub would take the spaghetti to the back and put more spaghetti and serve it to the next person.
Really?
That was that back in the day. That was the joke about Peel Pub.
I didn't know that.
And if it was like
pictures too.
I thought
Yeah.
that was just the place to go get dollar shots.
For a
sure,
reason.
yeah, and that's why
There's a reason.
you're getting dollar shots and you're eating someone else's leftovers. But I use that analogy because that's what it feels like for me. What Gunn's doing, I'm eating your plate. You didn't clear the plate. There's still food on the plate, and you're putting more on top.
But the one thing with the Lobo casting, though, they could just make him look.
He's
like,
gonna
with makeup and stuff.
He's
he could
gonna look
different.
fantastic. I know he's gonna look completely different. I don't, guys. I'm not saying that Jason Momoa would not make a fantastic Lobo. Granted, he's gonna look great. He already has the vibe.
He will
the
be
energy.
great. Yeah,
He probably will be great.
He's the equivalent of the Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Yeah.
Of Patrick Stewart as Professor.
All
X.
you,
I'm
have to
down.
do, all you have to do is
know Lobo, but
take him as what was
He's
it?
great.
Aquaman, where he first meets Batman and he's drunk and he falls off the pier.
Yeah.
You just
make him
just
that all
recolor
the
him
time.
there. Boom. Lobo.
Ness Lobo is a space bounty hunter who
watching
is-
it now.
yeah, he like hunts Superman a lot.
The best thing about animated films with him is usually metal music happens when he
Yeah,
enters a
he's-
scene, which is one of the
Yeah.
best things about him.
Basically, Stone Cold Steve Austin, but a DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin with dreads riding a motorcycle in space.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they made
yeah.
him. I think more recently they made him more with dreads, but back in the day, imagine like a metalhead and he has a
Yeah.
space
Yeah.
motorcycle, a space hog, and he's all back and he's like, "I'm the baddest person ever."
Yeah.
And then Superman's
Okay, I
like,
mean, he
"No,
looks
no,
like
no."
a cool character.
He looks like what? Sorry.
A cool character.
He
he's
is. And that's the thing. I don't doubt for a second Momoa could do this character super well.
Yeah.
People said he should have
probably
been.
could, even though I
He
can't
should have
do
never been
anything.
casted as Aquaman to begin with.
Yeah, he
because
should have done
was an
this character.
eventuality.
Yeah.
Like this should have been Superman 2.
Facts.
True.
Oh my
Aquaman
god.
was such
I-
a flop.
Yeah.
In
I
my
feel like they
opinion.
casted him as Aquaman because they're just like, do we
Because
have
he
to?
was likable at the time. He was
Yes.
popular. He was
Yes.
trending.
Yes.
It was like the perfect timing to
And
start.
I did like the swap that they did. Like they made Ocean Master with blonde hair,
Right.
and
Right.
blue
Right.
eyes,
Yeah.
and,
yeah.
but normally it's the other way around.
Right,
I thought
yeah.
that was the cool little.
It's true that Oren, I think is his name, and
Oren, yeah.
Arthur. Yes, 100%. That was well done. And those types of decisions are cool. It's just that when you have an actor that just looks so much like a character that everyone for years has been saying he should play, and then you cast him as Aquaman, and then later on connected to the same universe, you cast him as Lobo. It's like, okay, sorry, Skinny, you were gonna say?
I was gonna say, between Orm and Arthur, and them being, one was blonde hair and so on and so forth. That's a somewhat of a swap. Why don't they get mad at that? And
The online nerds?
Because they like Jason Momoa, like straight
Yeah,
up.
nerds.
They're not going to talk mad shit about
Why
Jason
Yes,
Momoa.
Kenny,
Because when that
That's
happened, that was when
It's a
the
reach, I
woke
know.
thing was happening, and then they were like, "If we do this, we're going to be cooked."
Skinny, you're hoping. We all know why they don't pay attention to those things and pay attention to other things.
No, but I
But
want to fight somebody.
Yeah. Real quick, last rumor. Not rumor. We know that Matt Reeves has explained that he's going to be delaying Batman, and he's still writing. I did get a rumor from a buddy of mine who said it looks like Reeves is going to the divorce court, and that's what's slowing him down too. Since then, I've also looked it up online. There's a bunch of other people who've brought up this rumor that he's going to divorce court, and that's what's affecting the delay in the Batman. It's unfortunate. There are other people who think that the reason it's being delayed is because Gunn and Reeves aren't seeing eye to eye, and
Probably not.
Warner Brothers that is doing the Batman movies and DC Studios that's not doing the Batman movies but will have their own Batman are kind of butting heads with the IP, which is why we said from the beginning not to do this. But hey, we've been telling them for years, stop doing Batman movies every 10 seconds, because if you do Batman on his own, he always does well, and then And then when you decide you want to start a universe, you can't include Batman because this happens. He's done well on his own, and he doesn't need the rest of you niggas. No. He's good.
Sorry.
Batman doesn't need the rest of you. He has his own fucking rogue gallery that is so deep, and he has his own Bat family that is so... I have the DC Encyclopedia, and next to it, I have the Batman Encyclopedia. And them shits is the same fucking size because Batman has as big an encyclopedia just for his whole crew than they have for the entire DCU, and that's all.
Yes, Wendell.
But there's a thing called money. It could be used to pay for goods and services, and we like money. We need to keep making money. Batman equals money. Keep making Batman. That's how we make money.
But here's the thing: you could make Batman in other
bunch of movies. I ain't coming out because tax reasons. So shush.
But also, it's funny that you say money. We like money. Look, Batman, but then don't do Batgirl. Because guess what?
No, you should have done Batgirl. That was the problem.
Wait. It's because she was a black girl.
Exactly. Big facts. Anyways, big facts.
We did Batgirl. We did a whole movie, a whole production. Yeah. We did it. We put it in pre-production, and when it was getting ready to come out, we shelved it.
Yeah.
Came out, and the crowd, they're like, "Oh wait, she's black," and they're like, "Oh shit,
she's black."
Bunch of money on that.
She's black. There was a trans character. There's a bunch of stuff, and all of a sudden they were just like, "Oh,
but Brendan Fraser."
But they did Catwoman. So why is it?
Are you talking about Halle Berry?
Not a good. That's if anything.
No,
that's
wait,
the argument someone brought in.
Let her finish. That's what I was asking.
You guys are saying that it didn't happen because she's black, and I'm saying I know Catwoman is not the same character, obviously.
Right.
I'm saying they did a Catwoman, so why?
Well, are you talking about Halle Berry's Catwoman?
Yes.
Oh, they did that because it's Halle Berry. Halle Berry's just that famous.
You want to know how that movie got made?
They couldn't just get a famous black woman.
You see, but racists still want to get with Halle Berry.
Yeah, that's it. That's so bad. Okay, that's a title. That's a title. Racists still want to get with Halle Berry. It's a title.
But you heard how that movie got made, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us the story in under a minute? Because we got to move on to other stuff.
No, I don't.
Basically, Halle Berry showed up at a Hollywood Halloween party dressed up as Catwoman from
Are you
Michelle
serious?
Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow, that looks amazing. That looks awesome. And they're like,
let's use you as a sex symbol.
Yeah, come on. Like you don't think
that. And they kind of went off of that. And also she was kind of on the uptick because I can't remember if it was before or after Monsters. It's probably after Monsters Ball.
It's after X-Men. It's after a bunch of stuff.
It was after
she's in her prime.
It was after,
that's the film that ruined her career.
The James Bond movie, Die Another Day. So
that was great.
She was never a great actress.
Oh,
I'm not commenting. But all I will say.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I am willing to hear out Ness's hot take that Halle Berry is not a good actress.
I didn't say she's not a good actress. I said she's not a great actress.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. When she did win that Oscar, that was like, let's give all the black people Oscars so they could leave us alone for a little bit.
Honestly, Jaws
won that time. And I think they gave an honorary one to Sidney Poitier as well.
That's why, like, when you said she won an Oscar, I was just like, everyone said the Oscar she won was not the one she should have won. Like she's like they're just like
Oscars, that's how
exactly.
I'm not saying she hasn't had good moments. She's had good moments. She's had good films. I'm just saying overall, like
every time.
I'm not saying she's Megan Fox.
No, I know. It's just every time, Ness. Every time you shit on our iconic '90s and early 2000s.
She brought up a good point.
That's what this is about to say.
Hold on. Let Ness. I'm just nostalgic. Rude. Halle Berry is not that bad of an actor.
Calling her old
Ness,
so hard.
Ness, I dare you to watch Baps and not shed a tear for the fantasticness that is Black American princesses. Okay, I dare you. I dare you.
But she brought up a good point because the reason why Batgirl wasn't made is because someone in the room said, "Remember Catwoman." That's the like you were using that in the way you didn't think you were using it. Just so you know.
No, I was trying to say like it shouldn't be an excuse for them to not make.
No, but that's the point. It is because you're giving the example of when they did, it completely flopped.
Yeah, I
so
guess.
The reason
that's not why I brought it up.
I know, but I'm just saying.
But the reason they thought they wouldn't make they were like female superheroes don't do well as movies because they were just going off of one old Supergirl movie that was just not done well.
It's really bad.
Guys, we got to get to a quick break. When we come out of the break, Ness will give us a little bit more info about this event that's happening. So we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Ness, hit us. What's happening on the 26th of January?
It's MTL Movie Club. Woo, woo, woo. It's a comeback, I should say, because we haven't done a movie club session in quite a while.
Yeah.
It's been a few months. So we're having a comeback January 26th at a new location to be announced. And I haven't announced it yet.
Can we announce the area for the location? Because I know I had a few people ask me where, and I told them based on what I've been told, but I just wanted, can we say what area of town?
It's in St. Henry.
Okay, cool. Just because I want people to know it's a little easier to get to.
You know I mean, I could just mention the details right now because I'm gonna post it tomorrow anyways. So
exclusive.
GeekCypha heard it first.
Exclusive.
Okay, so it's gonna be held at Colors Barbershop.
By the way, just look at the fade. Colors did this. Look at this hair. This is Colors right here. You're welcome. Thank you. Shout out to Greg. Anyway, sorry.
Immaculate.
Yes. Greg, so yeah, he's my other half. At his shop, Colors, we're going to be holding movie club sessions there. So the first one is going to be January 26th. We're doing a trivia game night movie edition.
Bong.
That's going to be the first comeback, and it's going to be at Colors in St. Henry. So I'm going to post everything tomorrow. You can follow us at MTL Movie Club on Instagram.
Woo!
Oh man,
guys,
I feel like we should make a little appearance here.
I'm
definitely make an appearance, guys. I got a screen.
100%.
Projector.
I heard about all the things you guys were doing, all the preparation. I've been telling people at work. I've been asking people to, are we going to go through? Because I like it's so close for me also that it would be inappropriate for me not to show up. But also, I genuinely want to go to them because I feel bad that I didn't get to go to any of the others before, which was a mistake on my part. So I'm very much looking forward to going to this one. So January 26th, all the details, MTL Movie Club.
What's the start time?
Sorry?
If I may ask, what's the start time?
I think it's going to be at 7.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So we're, once it's up, we're gonna reshare it and everything like that for sure. But we just wanted to let you guys know in advance. So if you're watching this, if you're a fan of our podcast, if you want to come see some of us, because again, Ness is gonna be there. I'm 100% gonna be there, and fingers crossed the rest of the crew can make it. So January 26th, and all the details.
And shout out to Colors for letting me use
shout out to Colors. Big shout out to Colors.
Space for my event.
Also, once again, if you guys are looking to look as fine and as fresh as your boy Doc Holliday over here, check it out with the fade and the texture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's shout out looking really, really good.
I honestly
I commended him when I came in the door. He looks very pretty.
So anyone who's listening to this, when I
saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah. So I've always just done a fade. That's it. I've always just faded my hair. I grew my hair out once in my 20s, had cornrows for like maybe a couple months. That was it. Went back to fading my hair. Never grew my hair out and did anything with it. Then I had to grow my hair out because of a unfortunate little condition I have on the back of my head. Still waiting for that dermatologist to call me back. You know who you are. Hit me up. But so since then I've been waiting, and I was told I really shouldn't keep shaving my head because of it. So they're like, you're gonna have to grow out your hair. And I was like, cool. So I grew out the hair. Hated it. I hated the way I looked. Every time I looked at myself in the mirror, I would get sad because I really hated how much I looked. It was driving me mad. It made me depressed. So I knew that the condition is mostly in the back and in the middle, so I can at least fade the sides. So I hit up the man's Greg. I Colors. I DM'd him, little DM on the side, like, yo, my man's. Can you fix this up for me, man? I need some help. I sent him a picture of what's his name, Blair Underwood, from an episode of Elspeth where he had the faux hawk. He didn't have this because he had like a full faux hawk, like just like full all the way up and down across, and the sides are like completely shaved off. But then I realized, I don't want to do that. So
That's too much.
I went barbershop like picture. You know when you used to go to a barbershop and they had like 100 pictures on the wall? I essentially went through all those pictures.
Number 5, please.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, "Yo, can I get a number 10, but with the texture?" And then the man's did even more beautiful. Yo, first time I ever had my hair cut and with the straight razor on the lineup. That shit looked sharp.
Yeah, Greg has all the fancy tools.
Yo,
that shit always gets me scared though.
Yo, razor, like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. When he
fucked me up.
When he took it out at first, and he's just like, I was like, "Oh, we're using the razor blade." He's like, "Yeah, man, we gotta make you look nice and clean." And I was like, "Okay, I'm good." And then he like comes to my face. He's like, "Don't move," and I'm like, "Motherfucker!"
Doc turned like he was 3 the first time he's getting his hair cut.
Don't breathe.
I legit clenched.
I wasn't breathing. At first, I was just. I was so scared.
But
I was
he's nice with it.
He's so good. He's so good.
He's been cutting for like over 10 years.
It's just that when you see enough movies where they do the smile and then they're like, "Yeah, just lift your head up so you can get underneath." You're like,
Thankfully, he didn't have to do, because for my beard, I want to grow my beard out. So he didn't line up underneath. He just lined up around the top and then the outline on the top of my head. But he also
go for a Viking beard here.
I used to have a longer beard that I used to actually be able to hold.
Yeah,
and I remember. Unfortunately, I trimmed it once and was never able to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was just gonna say, one of the things that's great about Colors is he also can talk to you about hair care. So he was like explaining to me, like, we're gonna have to cut this lower to help you grow it back. And then he explained to me how to shave so that I would get my beard thicker, because I was shaving underneath too far forward, which doesn't allow the beard to grow. So it's stuff like that I appreciate from like a barber, that you can get that type of information when you have questions and you're trying to make things look good. So shout outs to him.
Brian just laying all loose lays.
I'm really happy to see him.
Yeah. I was really happy. And the shop is really nice too. So it's a nice venue. I look forward to it. Okay. I will try, and I'm going to time myself again.
You keep on doing these timer things. This is a new 2025 on the show, folks. Everything's on a time.
You know why I'm doing the timer thing is because I know I talk a lot, and I don't want you guys to not like. I want to talk about Diddy, but I'm going to do my best to not talk about it for too long, because specifically one of the things I'm going to talk about with this Diddy, the making of a Bad Boy documentary. I'm not going to talk about the documentary itself that much. I'm going to talk about how bad the documentary is. because that to me is the real problem. Because
is this the 50 Cent one?
No, this is the one on Peacock, from what I understand.
But this has the McMahon scenario where they made the documentary and then the bad things happened.
Well, sorry. I did correct myself, but I don't know if you heard me when I said they started it after the stuff happened, but they had already been working on something.
Okay.
So they started making the documentary, because the difference with the McMahon one is they full on had started and then his allegations came out. Yeah. This one, they had started planning something. Diddy got in trouble and they started filming it after. So they already knew from the beginning that there was going to be a pivot in the story they were going to tell. So I'll say this. Here's my problem with this documentary. I'll start with that and then I'll say some of the things that I like. I don't think it's okay to make a documentary in which you have to put disclaimers after every wild statement to cover yourself because the things you are saying are so out of pocket. That to me doesn't make a good documentary. And I don't think anyone should ever be allowed to make a documentary like that. The fact that every time they talked about Kim Porter, they talked about the Heavy D, they talked about all the people that used to be in Uptown Records who died, and that they were implying that Diddy killed all these people, and that they had to, they full on implied Diddy killed Kim Porter. They implied that Diddy had,
I mean, the Kim Porter one, I've heard about.
So Al B, who was in Uptown and is the ex-partner of Kim Porter and the father of Quincy Porter, who is Quincy Brown, I think is his last name, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Full on, they played a clip from Jaguar, the woman that's been all over TikTok, making all these insane statements. Mm-hmm. They played a clip from her and then had Al B talking on the same thing and implying that Diddy killed all the people from Uptown. how's it a coincidence that the 5 founding people from Uptown, out of all of them, 4 people are dead and I almost died. And then they talk about how he almost died. And then they're implying that Diddy did all of this. And I'm like, but then right after that, they literally had to post, like, after Kim Porter's thing, they had to post, there has been no found evidence that she died of suspicious things. She has been confirmed by multiple people to have died from pneumonia. Heavy D died from this. Arnell died from this. And they just keep going on.
It's like tabloid.
Yes, that's my problem.
Yeah.
And the other thing that really, really bothered me about the documentary is the fact that you had people, actual living people, who were abused by Diddy. You had them in the chair and they could have told you more of their story, but instead we leaned on the salacious stuff because we know that's the stuff that sells, instead of talking to the girl, Dawn Richards, I think her name is, the one that was in Danity Kane, who was then in Diddy Dirty Money, and how she wasn't in it in the documentary, but she has a legal case against him, and her lawyer was there, and you had her lawyer able to talk on Diddy and all the accusations and all the documentation. You gave her like not even 10 minutes. You had one of the girls from the light-skinned girl from Making the Band. Sorry, I'm trying to find her name.
I know Making the Band, but I can't remember the girl.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
That was like the rap band, right? Not the girl group.
Yeah, the rap one, and the girl's name was Sarah Rivers. You had Sarah Rivers in the chair talking about her experience with Diddy, talking about being sexually, like, touched inappropriately and having a bad interaction with Diddy while she was making this stuff, talking about fearing for her career, talking about the fact that Diddy threatened to drug people and pimp them out because they weren't working the way he wanted. All this stuff, you had these people in the room. You gave them less screen time than the people who are making statements about Diddy is a master Illuminati-style maniac killer who's erasing all his enemies. And it's like, dude. Then you also, on top of that, have some of Diddy's friends who I guess are doing what you were saying with the McMahon doc, where it's like you're giving the other perspective, but you're cutting it in a way to make these guys look absolutely crazy. Because you're showing some of the worst things Diddy did, and then you're asking them, what's your take? And then one guy was just like, I mean, it looks bad. Of course it
was. He sweating? Was he sweating like bullets?
Oh, like Jaws, every time they cut, there's this one guy who was
weird.
Obviously Diddy's friend, and you can tell that he either didn't know about, either he knows everything that's happened, or Diddy compartmentalized his life, which is what I think he probably did, because I feel like people who do shit like this compartmentalize They have to. You have certain friends that see a version of you that is one thing, and certain friends that see a version of you that's another. And it feels like the guys they got in the documentary were the ones that own, like, these two of the guys were people that grew up with Diddy, knew him in school when they were young. One of the guys, even Tim, even like lived with him when he was like kids before he went to the military. He came back from the military. Diddy was Diddy now, and he has this whole energy. Diddy has completely changed because he used to get picked on. Now he sees Tim for the first time and he tells him, "No, they call me Puff now. I'm part of the, like, he was part of some new gang, whatever. I don't remember the name of the stupid gang, but and he's just like, yeah, they call me Puff now. Like, ain't nobody playing me in the streets anymore." And Tim was just like, "Oh, okay, like, cool. This is who you are now." And then that guy at the end talks about the fact that he lost his father. He lost his son, and Diddy, who he grew up with like his brother, is the last one, and he's just like, 2 out of the 3 are gone forever, but hopefully I can get one back. As in, he's hoping that Diddy can reform and come back, because he literally grew up with Diddy, and he's saying, I have no family left. This is the only guy. And it's like, how are you splicing this into a documentary where you also have multiple women? One woman wouldn't even show her face and talked about a time that Diddy allegedly like group sex, assaulted this woman.
Jesus.
And then you have this.
You feel bad for that guy.
And then that's what I'm saying. I felt bad for Tim because I'm like, homie, you're not getting him back. It's gone.
He been dead for a minute.
Yeah,
he gone.
So and the reason I bring
that
up
a really bad,
very bad documentary,
like a really bad YouTube documentary kind of thing.
Yes, and the part that sucks the most is I watched the Shine documentary a couple, and I mentioned that before. I watched a Shine documentary which covers a lot of similar things about Bad Boy and the the progression of Bad Boy as a movement and as a label. And the Shine documentary was done before the allegations, and then the allegations happened before they released it. So they tacked on a part at the end in which you find out that Diddy did set up Shine. And when you watch that documentary, Shine never once tries to just outright point the finger at Diddy. It's about Shine's life, so it doesn't have to do just with what Diddy did to him. Yeah. But you're watching this documentary and they used facts and his story, and it's a beautiful thing. It's about him and his father reconnecting. It's about him and his mother. It's about why he wanted to be famous. It's about him, people saying like, yo, Shine was nice in these streets and stuff like that. Like, it's a really beautiful story of like him rising. They lost Biggie. He was coming into into those shoes, what it was like for him. And then the documentary ends, and throughout the documentary he talks about how like he's moved past the things that happened with Diddy, and then it has to come back to him being like, essentially him looking like, I told y'all niggas he set me up. Like, kind of like the end is kind of him. Yeah, that's it. Like the end is kind of him being like, he sits down and he's just like, it is what it is. Like, what am I gonna do? I've moved past it. I'm a politician. My whole life is different. I am who I am now. But like, bong bong, there it is. And that's
credits.
So like that was a wild documentary, and it was just crazy to see, and it was unfortunate to see the way they did that one versus the Shine one, because the Shine one is done really well, and this one, the making of a Bad Boy,
it just sounds
poorly done.
Just
even
like the title
is a bit, yeah.
I was about to say the title sounds like the cover of a tabloid, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you've seen like that crappy like blurry picture of a person shot from afar away, and then you have like that title at the top.
Yeah,
but like
definitely a cash grab.
Yeah.
Well, no, for sure.
So what platform is it?
I'm sorry.
What
platform?
It was on Peacock. It was on Peacock.
Oh, Peacock. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Control.
I don't know in Canada if it's going to be on Crave, because I know Crave has a partnership, and quite a few Peacock docs and stuff end up on Crave. So fingers crossed. But unfortunately, I didn't get to. I saw it on through Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my take. And if you guys are looking for a doc, one thing I wanted to say, they said they one of the things I thought was very interesting, and I'll add this really quick. They compared Diddy to Epstein, and at the time when they did that, they used the line "the top of the pyramid," and I felt like that was intentional to make it seem like,
yeah,
but not even just that's a good point, but more in the sense of, if you've gotten the top of the pyramid, you don't keep looking. And that's the part that worries me, because I don't think for a second Epstein was the top of his pyramid, because there's other people that were funding him. And I don't think that what Diddy was doing, if Diddy was in fact trafficking these people like everyone is saying, I don't think Diddy was just doing it by himself. So don't just say the top of the pyramid. Like, there's more. So be mindful. That I think that was very lazy of the documentary to make that kind of statement, because like those two people aren't the top of that pyramid. There is more to discover. And speaking of pyramids and pyramid schemes.
Oh boy!
What are you looking at me for? Just because I'm the white guy in the room?
Who got sucked into a pyramid scheme?
This is a tax.
I was going to joke that WWE is a pyramid scheme. I'm joking.
I was gonna more lean in, if you want to lean into the tabloids. That's what the WWE first episode on Netflix was. This is a cash grab.
I know. I watched it.
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the thing.
Did you watch it too?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it. But I'm hearing more recent stuff. But
okay,
I tapped out though towards the end.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put in some good points, and then I'm gonna put some bad points. So good points is the camera angles and like the extra camera gear that they had. Like the visual was much better.
Yeah.
Like the cameras that they use for like the backstage segments, them walking to the ring, even the quality of the in-ring matches, it felt more like a UFC boxing quality of promotion.
It was pretty decent.
Yeah. I would say also I like that in theory, the matches on the card were pay-per-view quality matches.
Okay.
Okay. That's basically where it stops. So,
no.
so then this is where it's, you know what? I'm even taking up my notes so I don't even waste my time with this.
You got notes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got
there you
notes
go.
because there was some things I just thought were so unique. Okay,
It
so
would have been extra cool if like Dave pull out some glasses, some reading glasses.
I wish
just to
I,
get extra
I'm going to take
serious.
these glasses off of Brian. No. No. Okay, so one other thing that was cool is that you were able to still fast forward through commercials. I started an hour late, and I was worried that they're going to stop. You actually
Oh.
still watch through it. I don't know if that's temporary.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's temporary. So
Good point, though, because people, if I was selling advertising on WWE and you jumped in an hour late and could fast forward through my
Yeah.
messages, I would be upset.
Yeah,
I
because
would. That's not what I want.
because it
so.
wasn't, it's not like Amazon or whatever that it's like it's time that even if you fast forward or you pause,
Yeah,
like
it's
after-
embedded into
it's
the.
embedded. You've been watching this for X amount of time. A commercial comes up.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. So
Wait. So does that mean that this was? Oh yeah, because it is pre-recorded.
no, this is live.
Live.
Oh,
So
so
it's
how
all
did?
live.
Was live. Back down.
The commercials happen still.
Oh, okay. Yes.
right.
Yeah.
It's just I started late. I'm catching up to the live stream. Right.
Right.
So I thought they were still going to stop
Smart.
you, which you didn't.
Okay.
So instantly, the first thing I noticed, the commentary sound was off, just like the Tyson fight. There was several
Yes.
times that commentary
It
fell
was
out. Not
chopping.
not the audio, but specifically the commentary, which was really, really weird because you still hear people chanting and stuff, just
Yeah.
not the audio. So much pageantry. Literally the first 20 minutes, and I hate to say this, you've been doing this, you've been hyping Netflix for a year.
Right.
Mhm.
For the first 23 minutes, they were dick sucking Netflix every 2
God.
seconds.
Yeah, but
Like-
they probably had to.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Like, it's like you have a video package of like 7 minutes, which is like, we started here. Now we're on Netflix. Then it's Triple H. And we're on Netflix. Yes, I know. You want to know how I know?
Watching it. I
I'm
paid
watching
for
it on
this.
fucking Netflix.
Yeah.
I had to change the channel to the proper channel to watch it. Why are you telling me? Then The Rock comes out. And you're like, okay, cool. He's going to do something that's going to be
Oh.
like about matches. He
That
talks
pissed me
about
off.
Netflix for 10 minutes straight.
Oh,
And
wow.
he fucks up all this, like the people,
And
the
then
guy.
he was just standing there while Roman Reigns was like having the time of his life in the ring.
Well, that's the other
The
thing,
Rock
right?
is
Like
just
Weird.
standing there like
doing nothing. He's
I was
the
like,
last
he's
person.
getting paid for this?
The last person that The Rock had a fight with and left bloody was Cody Rhodes. The last thing he does in his promo is like, "Hey, there's Cody Rhodes, the champion. He's a good guy." You're like, "What are you talking about?" Last time you talked to him, you left him bloodied in a parking lot.
So is he not a heel
last-
anymore?
That's the thing. He claims after this he made a post saying, "Oh, I'm making a story and I'm bringing you on the line." Fuck you, man. You didn't know what you were talking about. You went off script.
Oh,
Let's just
shit.
be honest.
Left
You went off.
Cody Rhodes bloodied in a parking lot, and Cody Rhodes' mom was like, "How could you do that to my
You-
like?"
You
Cody
gave him
Rhodes'
a bloody
mom
belt.
became,
He beat her with a belt and gave her the bloody belt.
Insane.
Like I'm not saying
Insane.
bloody belt like he gave for like an insult. The belt was white. It was red when he was handing it to her.
Right.
So here's my issue with the matches. Match 1 happened at 23 minutes. Match 2, an hour and 19 minutes.
Well,
Match
hold on. Match 1 happened at 23 minutes.
23 minutes. Match 2 at an hour and 19 minutes.
So almost an hour later?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Then match 3, 2 hours and 7 minutes. Match 4, 2 hours and 33 minutes.
How long was match 1?
Maybe 20 minutes.
Oh, that's inappropriate.
So
Why?
here's-
What
But
happened?
It's not even the worst part. Here's the thing. When entrances happen, a person goes down to the ring, right?
Yeah.
Usually the music starts. When we watch it with real commercials, I say real commercials because the commercials are a little different on Netflix.
Yeah.
But real commercials where we're not watching the show for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then they introduce the person to come down the ring, right? But their way of doing commercials, you're seeing like it's like they do a bit of commercial, but you're seeing what's going on in the ring. Between a person getting into the ring after their entrance is done and when the next person's music would play was 7 minutes for every single match.
Oh wow!
And they didn't cut
That
away
is-
or anything?
No, like it was awkward. I'm watching you in this ring. Like some people are like saying hi to fans that are heels. Like, what are you doing?
So people walk down to the ring and then spend
7 minutes just chilling there
while the other person
is just not there.
and then the other person
And then the other person comes.
and then they take their minute to get to the
Yeah.
ring and
Yeah.
so the match
And the entrances themselves were like 5 minutes just to get to the ring.
right. So the
Yeah.
match itself starts like 12 minutes after the first person.
Yeah. After the
It's-
first person's music plays, you're waiting 12 minutes.
This was
I got so like I started like losing my attention span was just like
There was too much
Minutes.
pageantry.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Too much pageantry.
Okay, but so there was a second episode so far, right?
Yes, but I wanted the first episodes where there were some key points. I'll get to the second episode, and I'll make it short.
I just want to know, was there as much pageantry in the second one?
No,
Okay, cool.
There
I'll
was
let you continue.
improvement, but-
I'll let you continue. Sorry.
it's just because the first one to me should have been a pay-per-view, and it shouldn't have been. You should have been displaying more, and I found that it was a big infomercial the whole
Right,
time.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
thing that sucked was this: even though the matches were pay-per-view quality, all of them were predictable. You had Roman Reigns versus his cousin. You knew that these two are fighting for the head of the table bull crap. You knew everyone and their best friend was coming in and
love that.
fighting in the match.
I love that even Ness was just like, yeah, quote unquote. Like
Yeah.
even
Well, yeah,
It's like, no,
but I mean, we all know what WWE
it's about
is.
a plastic chain around his. Oh, sorry, it's really important. It's a specific name for a halo that's made out of wood and stuff. I know it's important to the culture, but at the end of the day, it's just the object. It's like it's worse than a title
it's a
belt.
thingamajig.
It's just it's a necklace.
Is it a like? Is it
my-
real? Is it a real?
It's a real thing in the
Oh,
Samoan
okay.
culture, and that's
Yeah.
why that's why I step back. I'm like, I'm not trying to insult the culture. I'm just
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta be
saying,
careful,
it's
man.
still a necklace at the end of the day.
No, I get what you're saying.
But you have match one completely predictable. You knew who was going to win.
Yeah.
This all
Roman.
happens. Match two happens. You knew who was going to win. It was the good guy. Oh, and that's the other thing. All the good guys win. 4 matches, all the good guys
Yeah.
win.
Weird.
All predictable.
No heels one?
No heels won. So first one, you
And
knew it was
it's
going to
not
be that.
usually like that. Like it's
No.
not usually that
No
bad.
heels usually win at least 1 or 2 or
Well,
At
cheats.
least.
Well, the thing that sucked, and this is where I was going to make the comment, all the matches on the pay-per-view were, on the card were pay-per-view, but they were all the ending matches of all of them were WrestleMania matches. These should have been happy because you're trying to conclude the story.
Right.
There was all conclusions at this.
So they concluded
Roman
these
Reigns-
arcs in
Yes,
the first
in the
episode
first
of Raw.
episode,
Oh, smart.
which
Okay.
I'm like,
Because it gets viewership.
it does, but at the same time, it was so boring. It was so predictable to the point that, example, I knew the brawl was going to happen in the first one. The second match, I'm like, okay, it's this person versus this person. Everyone's going to interfere for this person, but yet this person will still beat this person.
Can I ask a quick question
Go
to
for
you
it.
and Ness? Do you feel, because Ness, you've even watched a little bit of wrestling, you said, right?
Mhm.
Do you feel
And it's a
that they
live one,
did
too.
right? Exactly. Do you feel that they did this because ideally they were like, there's going to be millions more people watching this than usual, and we want them to get a hero story, and they recrafted the story for people who are new the same way that Doctor Who recently, the new Doctor,
Mhm.
Shuti, who's
Yeah.
the new Doctor,
No.
technically isn't a continuation of the other series. They stopped it, and he is now season 1 of his own Doctor Who series. So do you feel like maybe WWE Raw was trying to do we're doing a season 1 at new people, welcome to the new WWE. The good guy wins, and there's pageantry and there's fun, and
I feel there was a bit of that, but I do know at least one match was a result of both people got injured at different times during the year. They had a very big story arc,
okay.
and I knew that if the guy who won, because you could argue that both of them were faces, just the one who's a bigger face won.
Okay.
You knew that it was one of those things. Well, if the other guy wins, the story can go nowhere. Whereas if the other guy wins, you could potentially continue the grudge later on if you wanted.
The bigger face.
The bigger face.
Okay.
Being, well, I mean, you know CM Punk, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's him versus Seth Rollins.
Oh,
So both of them
are they buddies?
No, absolutely.
Oh, wait,
back
no,
in the
they-
day
yeah,
they were, but then
Yeah.
Punk left.
You
and
told me
shat
this,
on
yeah.
everything and everything. Now, the only thing that I
Oh,
found,
sorry, but Ness wanted to add.
oh, sorry, yes, sorry.
Well, no, I mean, it's right what he's saying. I agree with Dave, and I think they I think Netflix does what they do best, and they're just making it cheesy,
Right.
cheesy. And I feel like yes, they're doing it in a way to get more people to watch WWE, like new people, a new audience.
Right.
But I feel like it's a bit too much of the cheesiness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like what they did with you guys know the show's Selling Sunset.
Yes, unfortunately.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
My
So
wife watches it all the
that
time, go
show
on.
started as a real estate show, and at first it was a lot more about the house and real
Yeah.
estate, and they would show houses and everything. And now it's all about the drama.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I feel like
it's
once
like
they
Bravo
realize,
shows.
sorry,
It's like the Bravo shows.
Yes.
kind of.
You're-
So,
Okay.
but it didn't start that way. It started as a real estate show, and they wanted to kind of show you the behind the scenes of
Right.
millionaire real estate agents
Right.
who sell millions, whatever. but then it turned into gossip.
Yeah,
Oh.
Because they
who
realized
beef
people-
against
people
who
love
and-
gossip,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
now and then they started pumping out like every city you could think of, like a new selling this city
Yeah,
show.
selling Dubai
Where it's
or
just-
something like
Yeah,
that.
where it's
and-
just gossip, and it's the same thing with like Love Is Blind. They
Yeah.
just I feel like
Oh,
they
that's
just
the one I thought
milk.
was Dubai.
They just milk like every time there's like a little. I don't know, like
Yeah,
I feel like
once
they're
they're
gonna do that
in-
with WWE. They're gonna
Yeah.
milk it.
That sucks though, because WWE is like the IP existed so long before. It's unfortunate to think that they're
They're
gonna,
gonna ruin it.
But
like, you know how everyone always says you Disneyfy things, like they're gonna
Yes.
Netflixify.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Jaws, you were about to say.
I was gonna say that's kind of WWE's bag in a way, in the sense
little
of
bit.
you get the matches. Yeah, you want the
They signed to
matches, but you also
Netflix.
want the drama, the reason for the
Yeah,
match.
but I
that's
feel
leading up
like
to
Yeah,
it.
but
And then
it's
also,
not supposed
but
to be.
also-
It's not
also-
supposed to just be about the drama though. Like WWE
No.
is still. It's an actual sport. Like they actually
Yeah.
have moves and like technique and
Yeah.
everything. So
and there's risk in there too, obviously.
But I
yeah.
feel-
So
but
for
also-
them to just focus on the drama, it's gonna just ruin it.
But I also kind of feel like, like way older wrestling, you always had your good guys and your bad guys, your heels and
Mhm.
your baby faces, and they had to be the same in the ring and out the ring. And
Yeah.
then I think after the screw job, where they kind of the attitude era, they're kind of blurring the lines a little bit, where you weren't super, like I always say, like everyone had a job before the screw job. You had the Billy
Yeah.
the Beefcake Barber. You had-
Yeah. Everyone had a
profession,
cartoon.
Mountie, Big Boss Man, Repo
Yeah.
Man. Like everyone had
Yeah.
a profession.
Persona.
And after that, it was more of the personalities. And then as the internet started coming in, everyone started getting a little more savvy about what's going on behind the scenes. Oh, this is the click, and they're doing this thing, and
Well, the click is the thing that officially the thing that pulled away
curtain call.
the curtain call. That's
Right.
what it really did, and it sucks because the wrestling company leaned into it too much. That's the
But-
problem. They should have
so-
just disregarded.
And by the way, if you're watching this and you don't know what the curtain call is, look up curtain call WWE, because we unfortunately don't have time to go through it.
and I want to just say two quick points, and then I'll let it to bed because these are only the other 2 points that threw me off. One, because we were talking about pageantry and waste of time. Part of those like 50 minutes between matches, I shit you not, they pan like so. Usually, if you go to a wrestling event, there will be like usually one or two celebrities. They'll pan to them and be like, "Hi, this
Yeah.
person." No joke. There was like 100 celebrities that they pan to,
Oh.
and I'm not over exaggerating it.
Yeah.
Every time
I did hear there was a lot, like Travis Scott. and-
Travis Scott, Macaulay
in LA
Culkin.
or something, or
Yeah, well, it was in LA. So you're gonna have the most,
okay.
but still, you don't have to show them all. Even some of them looked like they didn't want to be. And the thing that sucked is you want to show those celebrities, fine. There was seriously at least 20 celebrities that was just people on their roster who weren't on that specific episode. Like, hey, guess what? It's like saying, Macho Man's here. Boom. Let's show him in the crowd. You're like, what are you doing? Like,
You don't have a match tonight. Why are you in
like,
this?
you're not even on this show. You're on SmackDown. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then the one thing that annoyed me a little bit, as someone and I want to make it clear, I'm always been an advocate. You want to smoke weed? That's great. But as someone who's also like, you have a response. I've always said it. I even once gave Snoop Dogg as this credit of like, if you're going to be a celebrity or whatever, you still have a certain due diligence to do, right? When you're going to have certain people in the crowd or whatever.
Right.
When one of the
'cause there's
guys,
kids,
when one of the guys came out, there was a rapper that came out with him. He does the theme song for Raw.
I think it's Travis Scott. No.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but he's blatantly smoking a joint the whole time. The commentators, one of them is Pat McAfee. He's like,
Oh yeah, he passes it to him.
well, he tries. So he's he's bringing out the sage. You're like, why are you bringing attention to it? One, like it's already bad enough he's smoking it. You're saying he's doing, and then when he actually gets to the ring, he's basically begging him to give him a haul, and he won't.
Jesus.
And then the worst part is during the match, and he claims because he actually went online to say he wasn't. I'm 100% sure that Jimmy Uso was high in that fucking match because he may have moved like a wrestler, but you look at those eyes, that guy was high as a fucking kite.
You forgot about the Visine.
Oh, I
Oh,
swear,
my
dude.
God.
I was looking at him like, your eyes are like going all over, like your body's doing everything. You're doing everything you're supposed to, but your eyes gave you away. Not red, just like,
That's wild.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if that happened because it was like their first time they're on Netflix.
I was gonna say,
and
yeah.
hey, it might be a bunch of new people just flipping around Netflix. Like, oh, this is new. Let me see this. And so they're pandering to the non-savvy wrestling crowd, and it's just like, oh my god, like, you know, like maybe their first time they were on the USA Network or Fox or whatever, and then, you know, they did that kind of weird thing where like, oh, we have to get everyone up to speed, or
I was gonna say, I think everything that was done on Netflix,
come back Thursday because, you know, these guys are gonna be on SmackDown.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. Like, this is an advertisement for all their other properties, it's their biggest platform now. So take advantage, show all the things you can in the first episode, so that people want to follow the story on and follow it everywhere else. I don't even. Where is SmackDown now?
It's also. I think you could still watch it on Netflix, but it's technically on the USA Network officially.
It's on Netflix as well. I see ads.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because I know if you research it, you could go to their archive. So I don't know if that means it gets archived after it gets shown. It's like why would USA Network have it, right? But the only thing I will say is that it did do double the usual viewership,
of course,
for an episode. So it did work. I understand why you're doing it, and I will say this: they threw away a lot of the pageantry in the second episode. The second episode was a little bit more. I won't even lie. I wish the second episode was the first episode.
And how long are the episodes? Because
it varies. The first one was a little over 3 hours, which was a little hard to watch, to be quite honest. Like I always found
that's a pay-per-view, man. Pay-per-view just take up your whole fucking day now.
So was the first one considered a pay-per-view?
No, because Raw was for the longest time 3 hours.
Oh wow. Okay.
So they said that they're going to average it between 2.5 hours to 3 hours because they want content. The second episode, I believe, ran a little bit over 2.5 hours, but again, a lot of less wasted time. They still had that issue with people chilling in the ring for too long before the next person coming out. But I think that the reason why that's an issue is because I think before they're like, oh, we have commercial breaks, so we could, like, it's a bad habit that they have to get out of
on TV.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so
we need to get in the habit of.
When you see it live, you get to see them like switching stuff out and everything.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's what happens when we're watching commercials. But now
it's the same thing when you go to a live show.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand why they're having trouble like adjusting.
Like, if you're watching it on TV, you wouldn't see the changes and the waiting and all that. Like,
no, I know, but I'm saying when you go live, like in an arena, and you go see it live, I don't understand, because when you're live at a show, like, they don't have issues.
You don't.
They don't have the guy.
You don't have 7 minutes chilling.
Yeah, that's what
I'm saying. So I don't get why they're having issues with like doing this live event on Netflix. Why they're having issues doing adjusting
pacing,
to it.
Yeah, the pacing is weird. Okay, well, I mean, I don't have Netflix, so unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it on Netflix. I'll see if I can find it elsewhere. I'm not even gonna lie. This is one of those things that I will 100% not watch on Netflix, but if I can, watch it somewhere else.
But it's like, one thing I will give though, versus so you had the network on in Canada.
Yeah.
The WWE network, the USA network was really amazing because like it was really archival. You could go back to really old stuff.
Oh yeah, you were saying,
and you couldn't do that in it was like a TV channel. It was just whatever's playing during the time.
Right.
They already have archives of stuff, and they're adding things every day. Like you type in Royal Rumble, and you go with the Royal Rumble of like
on Netflix.
Yeah, like they have everything.
Oh, nice.
It goes. I didn't check how far, but I was like, because what they have is like you had SmackDown, Raw, NXT, but then it was like Vengeance, which is an old pay-per-view, and it's like archived, and you see like there's a big number of how many are far back. You have that for Royal Rumble. You have that. I bet they're going to do it for. I didn't notice for WrestleMania, but I bet they'll, because like you could tell that they're adding things all the time, because I bet it's too big of a shift to just turn on they have too much content.
Yeah.
All right.
To be honest,
guys, I mean, I know, Jaws, I know you have secret level that you want to talk about. Unfortunately, I don't know if we'll have a chance to talk about all of it. Do you want to give key episodes people should check out, or do you want to come back next week and we do a full run? Because I watched some of them, but I didn't finish it all, so I'd be down to
give
talk about
some key ones.
Man.
A New World, Once Future King. That one has Arnold Schwarzenegger voicing a character.
Oh yes, that is fantastic. I watched that
one. The Warhammer one is really good. Pac-Man one is messed up.
Oh yeah, Pac-Man is really good.
But it's also a backdoor kind of thing.
Yeah. Pac-Man's really good.
And which is the other good? Oh, Mega Man. Mega Man was mwah!
Oh, I didn't watch the Mega Man one yet.
I legit cried.
And there's one with Keanu Reeves. That's
the Armored Core. That was good too.
Yeah, Armored Core. Okay, cool. Yeah, so guys, if you have a chance, Secret Level on Amazon Prime, Prime Video is out right now.
They're like little mini shorts. Watch
it's the same people that made Love and
Love Something Robots.
Yeah, Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
So they kind of anthology style video series, which is really, really good. And also, if you have a chance, revisit Love, Death, and Robots, because those are actually really fun too. Ness, I know you didn't mark down something you wanted to talk about, but did you have anything you wanted to tell people, or should I just play the ad again? I do want to play the ad one more time before we exit.
Oh, awesome. I'm trying to remember what's the last movie I saw, but I can't remember.
All right. Well, I'll play this. I'll play this while you think about it. I'll play this while you think about it.
All right.
So don't forget January 26th, Colors in Ville. I was gonna say Ville Saint Pierre.
Saint
Henry. My apologies.
Colors. Shout out
on Saint Ambroise.
Yes.
So just around the corner. That's in my hood, folks. You're gonna be in my neighborhood. So January 26th, and it's gonna be what kind of event? Trivia and what?
It's gonna be a trivia game night for movies.
I'm so
Trivia game night.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. All right. Speaking of trivia, if you guys want to check out some fun trivia, I will give Colin Jost his flowers because he is doing a pretty decent job on Pop Culture Jeopardy.
Oh,
I got it. I have to at least give him because it is pretty fun to watch.
Is he moving away from SNL or he's doing both?
No, I think he's doing both. I mean, it seems like they filmed 100 episodes in like one day or something because the way he talks, the way he keeps making jokes about like just being stuck in the same place forever is pretty funny. So
just small shout out him and Mike Che's Christmas exchange jokes this year was intense. It was so great.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
So great to see Scarlett Johansson live in the comments.
ScarJo's reactions are pretty funny.
Oh god, it's great.
Guys, that's the whole show. First one back of the year. We had a lot of fun. We want to make sure you guys, continue checking out our stuff, GeekCypha.com, GeekCypha.com. The episodes are up there. You can also see our bios. You can see all our socials are on there. And, make sure you follow us on socials. All our names are on our screens. In the bottom corner there, so you can follow. But if you're not watching this, if you're listening to this, it's also in the description of the episode. And if you guys are listeners and not watchers, we appreciate you guys still listening on the different podcast platforms, because I sometimes pay so much attention to the YouTube these days because, as we know, in the last 2 years, YouTube has become the home of podcasting. It's become the place that people go to for podcasts the most. It surpassed Apple and Spotify. So sometimes we start to think about the visual a lot, but hopefully we're still holding it down for the audio listeners, and we appreciate y'all just as much. So we'll be back with another one soon. Everybody, anything you want to say? One last word?
I'll say check out the Toy Armada podcast with Aaron Archer and the Transformers Slag podcast on YouTube. Transformers Slag, we did our top 5 of the year for last year. Go check it out.
That's it, y'all. Ness?
Hi. I was going to say see you January 26th.
January 26th.
Peace.